Hey guys, this is Pete with Crunch Time Coaching, and I'm adding a new section to my YouTube channel called The Daily Fix. What is the Daily Fix? It's basically when I get done my day of teaching, if I have some really good golden nuggets that I've been able to help my students with, I want to be able to help everybody out there to improve their game. So the Daily Fix is basically problems that really happen during the day of coaching. It's not just something I think out of the top of my head and like, ooh, I think that would be a good tip. Maybe that will work for people. No, these daily fixes are situations that happened in my lesson. We talked about it, it helped them, and I want it to help you. So today's daily fix is on how do you shrink the court against your opponent, right? Have you ever played anybody to where no matter where you serve, they seem to always be there? No matter where you hit the ball, they're there. And so the court starts to feel smaller and smaller and smaller. On the converse, you might play people that really don't hustle that much, that, 90% chance if they ran for it, they probably wouldn't get to it anyway, so they just figure, why bother? But what happens every time they decide to do that? The court in your mind gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to where all of a sudden now you're playing a lot more confident, and the court looks bigger, and so you're playing better and better. To where the people who are able to shrink the court on you, right? They end up making you go for lines and overhit, and you end up making unforced errors. So I thought of this today about the shrinking the court lesson because I was teaching a lady, her name was Sue, and she's really come a long way in the last year. And I hit a shot that I know 90% of my students would have just watched and said, feed me another ball, Pete. But she hustled. I mean, she ran her butt off, and then she got there and she went to hit the ball, and she missed. And I said to her, so what happened there, Sue? And then she starts going in her mind all the negative stuff. She starts saying, well, I did this and I did that and I should have done. I said, no, what you just did is you shrunk the court on your opponent. Because if you keep running for those balls, eventually you're going to start figuring out how to use your hands and massage that ball in the court. Plus, what you've also done is you put that doubt into your opponent's head. When they watched you run for that ball, their heart started to pound and were praying that you were not going to make that shot. And then when you missed, they got relieved, but it sent a message in their mind like, oh, this lady's a hustler. If I'm going to put the ball away, it's got to be good or she's going to run it down. And then what ends up happening is that's when people start overhitting, they start missing easy shots, and you start winning points, games, and matches. So that's your daily fix on how to shrink the court. Make sure you turn into a hustler, run everything down. Even if you don't think you can get there, it doesn't matter. Even if you just get the racket on the ball, and you'll find that as the match goes on, that's going to start wearing on your opponent's mind, and you're going to get free points, especially when it gets close to the match. So from the start to the end of the match, run everything down. This is Pete with your Daily Fix. If you like this, subscribe, like it, comment, ask a question, and be looking for more of these. I'm going to be posting these quite regular. Anytime I have something that happens during the day that I think you guys will like, I'm going to put it up on YouTube.